Hello everyone and welcome to another Skul the Years Later video. I know I've been dead for a while, yes, like I've had a lot of my plate and I just haven't been feeling a lot of Skul lately, like the, the, the bit of spare time I had, I was just playing like other games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff like that, you know. But maybe I'm back, who knows, maybe. We'll see on that, but I do have this, another Skul video coming real soon. You'll see that when the time comes. But first of all, the most important part is devblog #8. Pretty much the usual, right? Like the devs are gonna tell us what they plan on doing, you know. And honestly, I've read through this, and it is looking real nice. So let's just read through this together, right? And I'll give you my thoughts on it. So the devlog will be about the content we're working on for our next update. That's planned for early June. So that's already like we already have sort of a set, right? Sort of like a goal, a deadline, right, in mind. Hopefully they don't delay it like the Skul update. Honestly, they shouldn't delay it that much. But this is going to be a lot bigger though, so I don't know. South Pass top priority for this year is definitely the hard mode update. We don't want to make the game difficult and say it's a hard mode, which is really good, but actually want to design content that is both challenging and entertaining. To do so, the existing main content needed some improvements. Yep, it did. The first step for this was the skull balance adjustment, which, as we know, didn't work out perfectly well because there are still some skulls that are borderline unplayable. There's not like, oh, there's like good skulls and there's better skulls. There's like a few skulls that, you know, it's just they are real rough, you know. But yeah, now it's time for us to improve the items and the inscription system along with the status effect that received a lot of feedback. Literally three of the biggest things left. First of all, item reformation. Intention to allow various combinations of items by making some changes in the items that were somewhat useless. So there are many reasons why the players try to avoid or discard specific items. It may be low spec or the fact that it requires too much effort to use. So this is the case of the crit and bull. This is one of the I won't say one of the worst items in the game, but it's among the items that are quite literally garbage tier, right? So there's almost no reason to ever pick this up unless it's just like a placeholder for like whatever you're gonna get next or further in the run. But crit and bull is basically like you do a big dash, but first of all it's a single long dash, so you can easily fall like as it shows here. And the issue with that was it was on a cooldown, so you had to pay attention to it. And even if you paid attention to it, that means you shouldn't, like when the cooldown is complete, you should like save your dash, which is a stupid thing to do. Like you're saving your dash, like you won't use your dash for movement because you want to use it to hit, which is kind of stupid. But what they're planning on fixing it, or how they're planning on fixing it, is basically it is gonna trigger on ability usage, which might actually you work really well for skulls like Minotaur here, who spams abilities a lot. Or another case would be like Genie, maybe, you know, that would also be real nice. A lot of like power skulls that focus a lot on spamming abilities. What I would like to see from this though is like skulls, like balanced skulls, be able to use this. That would be real nice. Like balance skulls, speed skulls, you know, it'd be just a nice like all-round item that you could have in early game to help you clear rooms better. I hope they do that though. But I guess it would lose part of how like it wouldn't be as thematical anymore, I guess. So I don't know. It's up to them though. It's always gonna be one of those mid items, but yeah, at least it's gonna be like way more usable and way less annoying to use, right? Which is a good part. And that's I guess this also means that we're gonna have like many more items because there's so many more issues. And what I'm thinking of is maybe the gunpowder nerf is just around the corner. Maybe the most busted item in the game is gonna get fixed. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how I would feel about it getting fixed though, because like yeah, sure, it is busted on some of the most broken characters in the game, but you know like what wrong did King do? You know, I'm sorry, Monkey King do? What wrong did Hunter do? You know, like these guys are only usable because of that. So I don't know. They need to do some more fixing for them to remove gunpowder, honestly, because it's keeping some skulls in the game still. Inscription reformation. Intention to make gathering inscriptions less stressful, because this was pretty much the issue with inscriptions. As you've heard me say many times before, tactics is the only like best inscription because it is powerful and it is so seamless to build. You know, you just gather the best magic items and they just happen to have tactics. Everything else is just a bother, right? But what we're planning is, unlike now, players will be able to feel the effects whenever 2 to 3 inscriptions are gathered, and the overall number of inscriptions required to have the maximum effect will be reduced. So no more 8 courage, no more 7 tactics, you know, no more 7 madness. So in the case of courage inscription, player needed to gather 8 inscriptions to have the maximum effect, and because the effect was increased by every inscription collected, the more it was gathered, it quickly became overvalued. It was quite a stressful process at one point, since the player had to focus on finding the same type of item and descriptions. So the issue is they didn't hit the nail on the head with this issue here. The issue was even if you gather all of them, you're actually just losing in the long run, right? Like you never really build full courage unless you're just doing a meme run. You never go for 8 courage because the items are garbage. Like look at this item. He has 8 courage, right? What could he have here? He could have had Hope Slasher. I mean, I guess Hope Slasher is also courage, right? We could have had Gunpowder. He would have had Thieves Dagger. He would have had let me think, like Hunters with a Longbow. He would have had Kyrion. He would have had a lot more had he just not focused on random courage. You know, this is the issue with courage. It's like you're actually losing a lot more in the long run than you're gaining by building for courage. So you're just like making it hard on yourself to build for no real advantage. Literally just a meme run. So such situations like giving up the legendary item for common ones to maintain description are frequently seen. Indeed. I mean, not frequently seen because it's frequently seen in meme runs. Like you don't really see these in order because there's no reason to do this. We expect this update to give some flexibility for players by reducing the required inscriptions. This is a bone though. I don't know, I'm really liking this bone. Also, like the other contents, will improve the inscriptions that weren't very useful. Please do that. As a result, some inscriptions are changed, gone, or added. Hopefully, inscriptions like courage, tactics, and the others will now be considered as top of the player's list. Tactics has always been the top of the player's list. But, you know, I guess they're not, like, fully... They didn't, like, fully nail this part, like, with that, but, you know, they see the issue, right? They see the issue. It has way too many things, and it has way too many garbage items, you know? But with items getting better and this being reduced, you know, it might be just the best thing ever. Anyway, status effect reformation, one of the biggest changes ever. Intention, making the status effect useful in every way. So the issue with status is it doesn't work on bosses. That's literally the main issue. The rest is you have to CC, otherwise the status is pure damage, right? That's the issue. And pure damage is not good. Pure damage is garbaggio because it cannot be increased with anything. So you just have a status effect that deals no damage, and what's the fucking point at that point? You know, like why even go for it? You know, and Frost Call, which is like has one of the better status effects because it's CC. You know, you can actually like freeze adventures and stuff. It doesn't work on bosses. What's the point? You know, like even Blizzard. You know, there's so many inscriptions that just are just useless because of how status works right now. And as we can see, Chimera getting frozen. You know, Chimera's out here, actually frozen. All 3 heads and this little head here. I don't know what the hell this is, but, you know, Chimera's out here. Chimera's struggling. And this might mean that Frost will be good. Frost might be, like, high tier. You never know. We'll have to see, but Frost might be high tier. This might be just the boost Frost needed to go from an average skull to good or great even. We don't know. However, the biggest change, I think, is, as you can see, this now scales to magic. I don't know if it's gonna scale to like all of them are gonna scale to magic. It's not clearly said, but even if they all scale to magic, I guess it would be like status effects are just magic focused. But if they scale to the highest, that's also really good. We'll have to see though. However, the fun thing here is that burn now like has different effects, right? Like everything is gonna get different effect. Burn now deals more damage to surrounding enemies than the affected enemy itself, right? Which is really nice to clear groups. It's gonna have an effect like the poison inscription. I forget his name. Swamp. It's gonna have a similar effect to that, but it actually seems really fun. I don't think it will be that useful because like some room clearing, like most people who can apply fire have insane room clearing regardless, but we'll have to see. Um, and this part, now damage inflicted by status effect will affect the stat of physical and magic attacks. So this part is, I don't know, like the translation doesn't seem too on point. I'm not too sure what this means. But I'm not too sure whether this means like, oh, some of them will be physical and some magic, or it will just be both or either. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, moving on to the biggest change ever. New items and status UI added. Status UI added is insane, dude. We've been looking for this for so long. And if you all want a translation for what this means, are health, damage reduction. This is like physical and magical. I'm gonna guess. These are speed, so probably like movement speed, attack speed, and cooldown speed, or like concentration speed. Sorry. This is gonna be like cooldown speed, quintessence speed, and swap speed. And this is gonna be the critical. And this actually shows that critical is a 1.5 multiplier. I don't know if this is gonna be the base, but if it's gonna be the base, that means we've been wrong this entire time. Critical is not a 2. We always thought critical was a 2 times multiplier. Apparently it's a 1.5. I guess this is what we needed since the beginning. No more need to do math. This will just be like, you can check these. I'm so glad to see this added. And of course, like new items, the usual. It will just have some more like new inscriptions, new items. You know, it's just a good thing all around. Although this whip looks kind of nice. And that was pretty much all of it. All of the devlog. Honestly, insane job. Insane job. If they stick to this is gonna be like a massive update. And I'm guessing this is gonna be like parts. Like in parts, it's gonna be like the item changes, and then maybe the inscription changes, then the status UI. Because if it comes in like one big update, that update is gonna be huge, and I think that will be delayed so much. I don't know if they can make all of this within June. Like June is just around the corner, dude. It's like 1 month away. So I don't know. But anyway, that was my thoughts on the dev blog so far. So good. The devs actually know what they're doing. Insane job so far. I just hope they don't delay too much like the previous one. So yeah, that was all for today, guys. Be on the lookout for the next video because it's pretty fun. And yeah, I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.